Wield the virtuous Sangha out of compassion for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh. Thiện chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đắc lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sadanto Suchedo Ye Alahadi San Miao San Puto Ye. Nam mô Tát Đắc Tha Toya Daya Alahade Tamil Tambo Đào Tỏa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom and thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jian wan jian an zao yu. 我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Huong, Venerable YongHua, Venerable Left-Form people, and all good known advisors, Emituofo. Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa Lục Tổ Hòa Thượng Thiền Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Chư Phật菩萨、六祖、师父、上人，各位知识人，各位上知识，阿弥陀佛。Hello everyone, thank you for coming. We are gathered here to continue discussing the sixth Patriarch Sutra. Last chapter, slide number 186. I think we have to rediscuss something that's unfinished last time. We couldn't figure out what to do. So today we try to finish it. Okay. By the way, it is a real treat to be able to share this with you. We're learning about the quintessential Chinese Chan, the Dharma door of sudden teaching, whether it's Chan or whether it's Pure Land, it's a sudden teaching. Okay, so this is what this is about, and I'm very proud of the fact that we've been able to discuss this in great details together, the way that my Chinese master did not do when he was here 50 years ago. So we have the advantage of 50 years more wisdom that we accrued and a blessing to accrue. So now we are able to discuss this beautiful, wonderful, sudden teaching Dharma door. Okay, that Master Huineng is famous for. All right, the verse he gave his employees, disciples, is in Chinese. We couldn't figure out what to do with the first four characters, 头上, yang jin. And so over the past week, we came up with something we would translate it, because this is for future reference, not just for us. We can't just leave it, people hanging like this. So we adjusted the translation to reverentially making offerings to the head as offerings to the parents. That's a mouthful, but that's what it's talking about. Here's what this is a beautiful thing about the Chinese tradition, the Asian tradition that we don't have in the West. Yang jin, okay? It has to do with your nurture. You take care of your parents, okay? Your relatives, meaning the living ones, okay? That's very Asian. We take care, we Asians, our culture, our tradition is take care of our parents. We take it very seriously. It has to do, I'm sure, with the influence from Buddhism. Buddhism, filial piety is number one. We take care of our parents. That's one of the first few things we do in life is when we're able to take care of our parents. Okay, it's automatic. You don't question why you have to take care of your parents. Okay, it's called filial piety value system that the Asians have. Okay, and so so you take care of our parents, but also the Asians have this tradition of taking care of their ancestors as well. Also, this is a beautiful, beautiful tradition. It's a wisdom, Asian wisdom again. Okay, because if you believe in taking care of your parents, then you should also believe in taking care of their parents. See that? Up the chain. All right? So that's why the Asians have this tradition of every year doing a ancestors feast or something, offering, where once a year they make a feast. I told you last week about they cut a pig's head off and put it on the altar and as an offering to the ancestors. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, except that they do it wrong. They offer it to the ancestors, but the ancestors can't eat them. Okay? Because the Asians don't know they're supposed to recite 3 mantras in order to enable their ancestors to be able to partake in the feast. Okay, you need to have that. Okay, so but regardless, it's the fact that even if they fail, that the spirit of being filial to your ancestors, that itself generates tremendous blessings for them. Yes, and the flip side, they torture their parents a little bit, all that great food, and end up in, some kid's tummy somewhere, okay? But regardless, you see, that mindset is remarkable. It generates a lot of blessings, let me tell you. The Asians have a lot of blessings built in their culture. So they have potential, tremendous potential. Okay? Mahayana, Buddhist blessings. Okay? So that's why the tradition Yang Jin here is that we take care, we offer up, we nurture our parents and our ancestors. And the way they do it, if you're alive, take care of them. If they're dead, then you offer them on the ancestors' altar. So far, so good. So that's these last 2 Chinese characters. Yang, Qin. Yang is nurture, Qin is relative. Okay? So far, so good. Am I okay? I'm sort of like quarter Asian. So Asians, please correct me. Okay, I know I'm going out of my limb to explain you these things. Okay, by the way, you Koreans can correct me too. I know it's only 4 o'clock in the morning over there, but it's no excuse for you. not to correct me. Okay. See, the Koreans, they're dead. I mean, I think they sit there. They're so fascinating to me. I try to tickle them. They will not laugh. Oh, anyway, only Lily appreciates my jokes. Otherwise, the rest of the Koreans, including Sunim, okay, so anyway, so this Yang Qin here is a wonderful Asian tradition, Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese. Fantastic thing. Do not lose that, by the way. You Asian kids, okay? This is your heritage. You should take it, you should cherish it because it's a wonderful, wonderful teaching from your ancestors, our ancestors. So far, so good? And so, because they believe in the importance of Yang Qin, taking care of your parents, making offerings to your parents to show our gratitude, okay? Gratitude is a manifestation of the wisdom from your Buddha nature, by the way. If you're grateful, anyone have a thought of gratitude? Yes. Huh? You're grateful every now and then, regardless. You're grateful. I assure you that thought of gratitude comes from your Buddha nature. Right there. That's my proof to you. As long as you're sincere. Some of us only pretend to be grateful. Those are exceptions. But if the gratitude wells up from inside of you, it's from your Buddha nature. That's our proof to you that your Buddha nature exists, not just talk. At this point, I feel that most white people should feel inferior. Just kidding, Brady. We're best friends. Okay, so Yang Qi right there. So you're offering to the parents, okay, to the relatives, okay. And furthermore, this Korean monk has insider knowledge. So he says that 6th patriarch there is a saint, is a sage. So we bring him into our altar, make offerings to it, okay? It will be greatly beneficial to our ancestors as well. So that's his thinking, okay? That's why he hired someone to cut the 6th patriarch's head off. So far, so good? So that's why the translation. Reverentially say, okay, 头上, 头 is the head of the patriarch. 上 is offer up. Okay? And so that's why reverentially, because you modern days people forget to be reverent, forget about reference, forget about deference, forget about the proper protocol when you see this. Okay? Oh, by the way, we're not the same as you. You know? Why? That's why I have to sit a little bit taller, higher than you, to kind of remind you, I'm a little bit higher. Never mind. YouTube question, go ahead.
平等清净 asks, Master, what 3 mantras do we need to recite so the ancestors can enjoy the food? Because my mom does make offerings to ancestors a few times a year.
That she does not recite the mantras? Naughty mommy. Okay, and the 3 mantras you can check with our people offline. And those are the 3 mantras that are very useful that everyone can recite. You should recite when you make offerings to the deceased. Otherwise, they can't consume them. So far, so good. So if you can contact us later offline, we can give it to you. I promise. So far, so good? Okay. So, anything else? Okay. So, a little bit long, this translation here, but that's as far as we go. Okay. Because there's no such tradition here in the West. All right. Moving on. Where are we now? Okay, Mazu and Laban Pang again. Pang Jishi. We established my school, build and restore monasteries. Pang didn't understand about certain teaching, by the way. That's why I don't think much of Layman Pang. If you're a Chan person, you don't understand the certain teaching, then you really are not a very good Chan teacher. I mean, Chan patriarch. So, and glorify Dharma for its heirs. Okay, where are we now? Will you, okay, next, okay, pass down, are numberless and uncountable, and begin the last 7 Buddhas, okay, okay, the last 7 Buddhas, okay, the 3 Buddhas, okay, and then the former Buddhas in our worthy aeon, Xian, okay, Xian is worthy, all right, Xu Wei Ji Fo, so we correct this Chinese a little bit, so that it's consistent with the official Tripitaka, Chinese Tripitaka. We picked it up from a website from Master YongHua's organization, and a little bit off. Okay, where are we now? 206. That quickly? Pretty soon we have to come and end this. Oh, bummer. 206. Okay, 206, Sutra Text. From Shakyamuni Buddha, the transmission went to 1. Arya Mahakasyapa, number 2. Arya Ananda, number 3. Arya Sanakavasa.
今以释迦文佛手传摩诃迦摄尊者，第2阿难尊者，第3商那和修尊者。
Okay, 207, according to Master YongHua, he says, Shakyamuni Buddha, in the midst of the millions of humans and gods who were circumambulating him, picked up a flower, and Mahakasyapa, the first patriarch, first has no R here, had a smile. No one knew what was happening, but Shakyamuni Buddha said, I have the proper eye treasury, wonderful mind of nirvana, real mark which is unmarked. This is mind-to-mind transmission. This should have some quotations here. I have, this should be N. Oh no, this is mind-to-mind transmission transmitted outside of the teaching. I have already given it to Mahakasyapa in mind-to-mind transmission. So far, so good? Huh? You know, would you like to know the story behind the story? So in one of those assemblies where the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, was about to speak Dharma, he held up a flower, okay, in his hand, okay, and in the assembly was the great Mahakasyapa, one of his oldest disciples, Arhat disciples, okay, and then And then Mahakasyapa certainly we had this faint smile on his face, okay? And that's when Shakyamuni Buddha, he himself was very happy. He says, I have this treasure called proper Dharma eye treasury, okay? And this is Mahayana, if you will. This all the Buddhist teachings, the tremendous Buddhist wisdom, okay, that I have. The wonderful mind of Nirvana, okay? Mind of Nirvana, what does it mean, wonderful mind of Nirvana? Do we have a Chinese for this? Miao Xin Niebban. Niebban, Miao Xin. Niebban, Miao Xin. Miao Xin, okay? So, Miao Xin, so it's a wonderful mind of Nirvana, meaning that this, when you enter Nirvana, then you experience a state called wonderful mind. Okay? These people have this wonderful mind, state of mind, when they enter Nirvana. This is a special state that we don't know about. We mortals have no clues. Okay? So that's why he says, this treasury I have, this treasury here, and also part of it is this mind, this wonderful mind that you will experience when you enter Nirvana. Okay? Real mark, which is unmarked, okay, 无相, okay, 实相, 实相, 无相, okay, real mark. Real mark here is, I know about the truth, the real truth in this universe that none of you really know about. You don't know about this real mark. You cannot recognize the real marks. I can. Enlightened people can, but you cannot. So far, so good? Okay. This real mark here is what enlightened people are able to see. What spine number one can see is called mortal marks, false marks. What you can see with your eyes is called false mark. What ordinary people, what people who are not enlightened, we're talking about big enlightenment, not small enlightenment. So far so good. If you are truly enlightened in Mahayana, the big enlightenment, then you're able to see this real mark that others cannot. Meaning that the arhats, even the arhats, cannot see what it is. So far so good. So here is the proof. If you believe this, then this is a proof that Mahayana is the complete teaching. Big vehicle is complete teaching. Not the Hinayana, which does not have the notion of real mark. Is that clear? But there's no need to tell them that. Okay? This is for us to know, for them to find out. Okay? So this real mark here is the characteristics of the Buddhist teaching. All right? Which is unmarked, meaning the real mark that these enlightened people are able to see when they look at her, look at him, look at this camera, they see the real mark. You see a camera, you see a person, you see. But that is called false mark. Okay? To the Buddhist, that's a false mark. You're a false mark. He's a false mark. But these enlightened people can see the real mark. For us, we see a camera, but for the really enlightened people, they see the real mark right there. Any problems? It's a privilege. It's a private club. It's not something that you can complain, how come it's so exclusive? It is exclusive. It's for the elite folks. Sorry. It's not for everyone. Any problems? Boy, you must be sleepy today. This real mark here, these enlightened people are able to see whatever they see is actually unmarked. I'm enjoying this because you go, real mark, unmarked? And that's Mahayana. Mahayana is that when you see there's something that mark, then you have to also talk about something that has no mark. That's Mahayana. Any problems? If you see the real mark, then you realize it actually has no mark. Okay, it's time for you who are honest to stand up and walk out of here and say, nonsense. You Hinayana people. Yes, number 5.
Master, what about the lady, she says she saw Guo Yin, or if you see with your spiritual eye something coming out of the wall, is that still a false mark?
It's
or
still
is that
false
a real
mark.
mark?
Absolutely. Okay? Because what happened is a good question. If you see things with your eyes, your flesh eyes, it's false mark. The real mark you cannot see with regular eyes. Does it make sense now? We can see, but it's with our false organs. These organs creates false impressions. Okay? So, for example, when I call someone guru, guru. Okay? So I say guru means you're a false guru. Okay? I see you as a false guru. But on the other hand, you're also the true guru as well. But you don't know about it yet, that's all. You understand now? That's why it's not stuttering. It's true. It's guru, guru. Because you're false, but you're going to see the truth down the road. You'll be free. When you see that truth, the second guru is the truth. And it's called liberation. So far, so good. Okay? Yes, number 5.
Master, so a mind-to-mind transmission is essentially for the receiver an aha moment.
I'm coming to that. Hang on to that thought. Let's go to JMT. They've been holding for a long time.
Master, I have a question that the Venerable Mahakasyapa, he's such well known as a sound hearer sage. So how when he has the wisdom of a great big enlightenment, so the Buddha can choose him as the patriarch of the real meditation.
Are you on my side or are you on the Korean side? Okay, I forgive you for this one time today. It's the fact that Venerable Kasyapa was designated by the Buddha as the first patriarch should tell you something about how the Buddhas and these patriarchs operate. Mahakasyapa is actually a bodhisattva. There's no way a sound hearer or an arhat or a practical Buddha can be a patriarch. That's not possible. Okay? So that's a confirmation right there from the Buddha himself. He says, oh, Kasyapa, you are the first patriarch. He says, basically for us, in our times, in the future, we say, so the Buddha basically recognized Mahakasyapa as actually a bodhisattva. Is that clear? So that's how you should take it. Okay? But for the low-level people, okay, it's nothing wrong with them to look at Mahakasyapa as a sound hearer either. Okay, it's just like Guru. It's sound hearer, but actually bodhisattva. You see that? Do you remember the example, Guru? It's the same thing, Mahakasyapa. Mahakasyapa is a sound hearer. He has a sound hearer's comportment and appearance, but actually, deep down, he's actually a bodhisattva. That's why he's designated as a patriarch. But he appears to be a sound hearer. Same thing. Guru is actually a mortal, but the other Guru is actually the future Buddha to be. So there's a future Buddha to be behind this Guru. You get that? That's how beautiful Buddhism is. You should not believe with your eyes, okay? Because your mortal eyes are betraying you, are misleading you. I'm sorry. That's the way it is. It's not until you become enlightened that you will not be able to see the real mark. Okay? What does it mean, no mark? Would you like to know? Today I'm in a good mood. I was about to tell you what does it mean that has no mark. But it just dawned on me, you guys are all sleepy heads anyway. So why should I reveal state secrets to you? But I will reveal the state secret to the Koreans only because they took, they made the effort to get up at 4 in the morning, meaning they have to get up at 3 and drive to the temple. And then, so, okay, you guys tune out. I will talk to the Koreans only. Deal? Yeah, plug your ears, please. Okay. It's as if you're not hearing anything. Okay? You're hearing, but actually you're not hearing anything. So far, so good? You want me to continue, or is it too far-fetched for you? You say, Master, stop talking nonsense. What's unmarked? What is no mark? Okay, Koreans, what is no mark? The Koreans are so happy now. Look at them, they're all awake now. The kimchi ladies, I'm special. Yeah? What is unmarked? What has no mark? What does it mean, no mark? Come on. Real mark, okay? The real mark is you cannot see. So far, so good? Real mark we all know. Okay, go ahead, JMT.
Hello. I have a question related to this. Is the Buddha nature permanent or impermanent?
The Buddha nature is as permanent as the mole on your face. How can you ask me, a Buddhist monk, is my Buddha nature permanent or impermanent? I take offense at that. Okay, I'm calm. So what is unmarked? Okay, Koreans, okay. Unmarked, see, again, oh no, we have to remind him he cannot listen in here. Daniel, okay, tell him he's not supposed to hear. Tell him to plug his ears. Yeah. This is Buddhist secret, okay. Not for Go Force either. But go ahead, Q&A.
Thank you, Master. So no mark can mean if you say it's any mark, then it's wrong. It's not any particular thing. As long as you say particular mark, it's wrong.
You get it? No? Okay. One more time, please. Sanjose.
I think no mark means you cannot pin it down to any particular mark. It's everything. If you say it's this particular mark, then you're wrong. That's the meaning of no mark.
Nice try. Very good. Not even close. But it's a pretty good try. Anyone else? YouTube has the answer, of course. YouTube is better than you.
San Jose 2008 says, no mark is any mark.
No mark is any mark. Oh, excuse me. No. Yes, number one.
Mô Phật, nói về cái vô tướng thì giống thầy là cái người vô tướng, thì đâu có ai biết đâu.
Excuse me.
Master, when talking about no mark, it's like you have no mark and nobody see it, nobody know.
Okay. Yes, in front. Number 6.
Master, is no mark mean the real mark?
Yeah, and real mark is no mark. But what is no mark? You cannot say, have a circular logic like that. No mark, real mark, it's just no mark. No mark is real mark. So it's just like, I just ate pho, and you barf and you eat it again. It's not fun. Yes, Daniel. Let's see what the Catholics can come up with the best of the wisdom.
Hello, could it be no mark? Could it be anything that you do when you're in samadhi that it could be more real? When you are in a state of mind that is clear of anything?
Okay, use Catholic words. Don't use Buddhist words. No. Okay, answer from JMT.
무상이라는 게 상이 없다라는 뜻인데 제가 생각하기에는 사람마다 어떤 사물을 볼 때 그 자기만의 고정관념이 있습니다. 그런데 무상이라는 것은 그런 고정관념이 없는 상태에서 사물을 본다면 그 참모습을 볼 수 있지 않을까 생각합니다.
When you mention about no mark, that means there's no mark. Every person, I believe every person has sees the things with their typical concept or typical perspective. Without that personal perspective and you see things, then you will see the truth.
Good try, but no, that's not what I'm looking for. YouTube has the answer, fortunately for us.
Alta-D says, I think there are two worlds. One is the world of the marks, which is everything we can perceive, and one is the world of the Buddha mind, which is only the Buddha mind.
So, the parallel worlds, okay? Okay? No. Anyone else? Yes, number 5.
Master, I think no mark means that the thought has not been transmitted mind to mind. So it would be thoughts that are not transmitted mind to mind are no mark.
Good try, G.I. Joe. But no. Future Amitabha Buddha disciple. Number 3.
Mô Phật Thầy, vô tướng tức việc mọi việc mình suy nghĩ trong cái lòng mình nó không có tướng ra rồi. Mình vô mình suy nghĩ thôi, không có tướng là vô tướng.
It says anything that goes inside of my mind has no mark whatsoever. It's for me to know and for Daniel to find out.
Mô Phật Thầy.
No. So sneaky, so sneaky. No. You think like that, Amitabha Buddha will reject you. Yes, number 1.
Mô Phật Bạch Thầy, giống Ngài Hòa Thượng Tiên Hóa ở Mỹ này 60 năm, đâu có ai, ổng là người vô tướng, đâu có ai biết ổng là có tướng để tu đâu, mà người ta cũng còn chê bai cái này cái kia, miễn mà người ta biết ổng là một vị Bồ Tát á, thì người ta đâu có chê ổng đâu, phải không? Thì ổng ra cái tướng cho người ta lộ ra cho người ta biết, rồi cái này ổng cái vô tướng, ổng giấu tới, ổng nhặt cái bàn thôi.
This woman has a lot of anger.
Master, so it's similar to Master YongHua. He's been here for 60 years, but he has no mark at all because nobody knows that he's a cultivator. That's why people criticize him or whatever, because if they know that he's a real bodhisattva, then they already praise him. But like he hide all of the mark to the day he died.
She's a disciple. That's why she's so upset. Yes, and number 5.
Masters, when the mind has no more discrimination to hold on to? No more?
Okay, you too. But wait a minute.
Alta-D says,
Why am I talking to you? You're not supposed to be here. I'm only talking to the Koreans. You tricked me into this. Nice try. Yes, you too. Go ahead.
Alta-D says, thoughts, things, feelings, and time are mark. Even the Pure Land is mark. The only thing that is not a mark is the Buddha mind.
Okay, we ignore that. Q&A.
Because when you have no more thoughts, therefore no more self.
No more self. Not bad, not bad, but it's not what I'm looking for. There's a no there, that's good. Yes, Green.
This is from a Korean person. The no mark means the mark made by, the mark is achieved, mark is exist by affinity. According to the affinity, the mark changes or disappear. So the mark is not permanent, and that is no mark.
Good try. Okay, anyone else? YouTube has the answer. Again, Alta-D, go ahead.
It's not Alta-D, it's Yoon Ai-sun. So Yoon Ai-sun says, no marks means that we cannot see with physical eyes.
Cannot see physical eyes. Then how can you tell it's no mark? Huh? If you cannot see it, how can you tell it's no mark? Next, any more questions? You want to give up? Yes, I don't know what to call her yet. Miss Negativity.
Yes, Master, is something, a mark is something that we cannot be perceived by our sixth sense organ?
No, that's not what I'm looking for. Anyone else? You see, how come the Chinese and the people, the scholars, they talk about no mark, they repeat this, they regurgitate these words, and no one can really explain to you what no mark means. Why is that? I wish I could ask Master YongHua when he's alive. I wish his disciples would have asked it for me so that I don't have to answer you. So that I don't even have to ask you myself. Because you wouldn't know what to ask. That's why I have to ask you first. Okay? Because I wish his disciples, my seniors, my elders, should have asked him this question. Why do you keep on telling us it has real mark, which is no mark? What does it mean? For God's sake. I mean, for Jesus Christ. I mean, yes, number one.
I think it's the no mark is body-mind.
Body-mind. Okay. I forgive you. Q&A.
Is it no mark is what perceived by true mind instead of thinking mind?
Okay, very good. How about Karek? 7.
Master, can I ask question?
We still have one question unresolved, and you want to ask another question? And you're not supposed to even be here. Yes, go ahead.
Master, the patriarch to the patriarch, after they receive the transmission, somehow they give out the markless verse as well. So what are the use of those markless verse to the next patriarch?
I forgive you, honestly. YouTube has the answer.
Says, no mark is what one sees with an unconfused mind.
One sees one unconfused mind. What is what happens when you see with one unconfused mind? What happens? He's confused like heck. Q&A. You guys just don't give up, do you? I like it. Yeah. Kudos to you. Very good. Losers, don't ever quit. Go ahead, Q&A.
Thầy vô tướng tức là các pháp không tự nó độc lập mà nó phải nhờ các pháp khác để mà mình nó tồn tại. Do đó mà kinh Bát Nhã mới nói là chiếu kiến ngũ uẩn giai không. Nó không có thật có, nó do cái này cái nọ thành cái thân mình. Kinh Hoa Nghiêm nói là lục căn lục thức đều vô tướng. Ai thấy được như vậy là Phật thấy.
Okay.
Không có thật mà mình cứ cho nó thật là mình đủ thứ chuyện trong đó hết. Nó là mượn cái này mượn cái kia, hết duyên nó tan qua cái duyên khác, thì gọi là vô tướng.
Yeah, he's old, so I'm not gonna hurt him. Right there. One.
네, 마스터, 무상이라 하면 제 생각에는 그 보살의 마음가짐이 아니겠습니까?
Master, when you say no mark, I think that means the bodhisattva's mind.
Okay. YouTube has the answer.
Diego says, no mark is when you are not disturbed by anything.
And you still want to raise your hand after that answer? So you disagree with that? Okay, very good, Diego. Excellent. This guy is my disciple, you know that? My better disciples. Let me explain to you. It's okay, it's okay. Don't, take a break. Don't try so hard. Okay, the real mark you cannot see. Okay? Real mark you cannot see because unless you're enlightened, you cannot see the real mark. So far, so good. So when people say, I see real mark, okay, that person is lying. Okay? A person who sees real mark will not say anything. It's nothing to talk about. That's why it's called real mark. So far, so good. The real mark because nothing to talk about. If you talk about real mark, see, that's why I avoid the real mark because it's nothing to talk about. Because you are, after all the answers you gave me, I realize you're all losers, and therefore, I have to tell you, okay? Real mark means it's nothing to talk about. So far, so good. Okay? What about no mark? No mark, okay? This no mark is something that you can understand. That's the difference. Real mark you cannot understand because it's real. Your eyes are false. Yes? But no mark is something that you understand. That's why the Buddha has to say, it's real mark, but actually it has no mark. So far, so good. This is the depth of Buddha's teaching. It's so beautiful. He says, the real mark here I'm talking about, you guys have no clues. So far, so good. But if you want a clue, it is not marked. It has no mark. Don't you love it, huh, Catholic? He says, you're so limited, but I tell you what. I tell you it's real mark, you cannot see it, but it's unmarked. You can see the unmarked, but you cannot see the real mark. It's beautiful. You like it or not? Oh, wait. Koreans, I'm not talking to them. Koreans, you like it or not? They don't know what we're talking about. Okay? Again, repeat. Real mark is that you cannot see. That's why it's called real mark. With your eyes, you cannot see. But unmarked is something that Xian can see. That everyone can see. Okay? That losers can see. So far, so good? Look at how excited Xian is. He's closing your eyes. Yeah, I can see. Okay, so if you can see, then how is it called, why is it called no mark if you can see it? See, the Buddha's teaching is so subtle, so profound, and yet so logical. It's not nonsense. We ask you to believe that, there's a being up there and you have to go up there and go through the pearly gates and so forth. No. When we talk about real mark, we cannot see, but actually something you can see. It is unmarked. That's Buddhist. So Buddhist right there. Okay? So what is that you can see? Whatever you can see that is unmarked. What is it? Koreans. Whatever you can see that has no mark is only when, what, Koreans? Finish my sentence. This is very American. The quiz is that you finish the sentence, master's sentence. You go first. You go first. You go first. The number one husband says, women first. Anyone? Okay. Koreans refuse to cooperate. How about the rest of you losers? Okay. Why? Whatever you see is unmarked when Diego gave you the clue already. Well, you're not attached to it. Then it's unmarked. Isn't it beautiful? You see how logical it is? Huh, Koreans? If you see what do you like? Money? For me, I see $100 bill, okay? For me, I don't know about the Koreans. I see $100 bill, okay? My mind jumps. So, is that marked or unmarked? It's marked, yes, because I jumped. I'm attached to the mark of a $100 bill. Yes? Does it make sense to you now? If I'm really unmarked, then you give me a $100 bill. Hey, Kath, try me. Give me a $100 bill. What? He's cheap. Kath is very cheap. Okay? If you give me a $100 bill, and I said, only a $100 bill? Is it marked or unmarked? Huh? It's marked. I reject it. I pretend to, at least. You see that? Is it clear to you now? It's unmarked when you are totally are... Just a minute, please. Just a minute. Koreans, just a minute. Payday. Everyone, hey, I got $100 today. Look at that. That makes my day. Even the boy is intrigued. He was, give me. Okay? It's a proof right here that I cannot see no mark. See that? She says, I'm going to tell Amitabha Buddha that you are so marked. You see that? So, the unmarked person, the person who sees no mark, has no attachment whatsoever to this world. None. is not because she's dead, but because she has totally no attachments to anything that we see, or we feel, or we hear, we smell, we touch. They have no attachment whatsoever. Then that person has no marks. Is that clear? That's how, even though you cannot see someone who can see the real mark, okay? But you can guess someone who has no mark. Isn't it beautiful? The Koreans are totally unimpressed. I cannot believe it. Hey, Koreans, you'll never find this kind of explanation anywhere. No one ever has been able to explain to you why it's called no mark. Okay? Because these enlightened people like Master YongHua, unlike me, okay, he sees no mark because you give him $100 bill, he's totally unmoved. Okay? You give him a big check, $2 million check. Okay, would you believe that he's still unimpressed? So that man, as his disciple said, he truly has no mark. Absolutely zero mark. Case in point. Let's not talk about money because it's so demeaning. Okay? Okay? Let me ask you. You sit there and meditate, and a demon comes. What do? You recite the Buddha's name, and the demon comes at you. What do? You are meditating, and some kind of small dragon comes near you. What do? You sit there and meditate, and your son screams and cries. What do? Okay? The example of, let's say, a demon comes to you. Okay? What do? For most of you, you would be scared, aren't you? I would be. Except for Catholic. Catholic is not afraid of demon. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Never saw a demon before. Wait till you see one. Okay? You be scared. Yes? Then you have marks. You are attached to the mark of a demon. Yes? You cannot claim you have no mark. You're attached to a demon. Like Catholic says, I'm not scared. Meaning he's not scared of a demon. Therefore, he has marks. See that? Got him again. You see that? So you're scared. That's why you have marks. That's why you're scared. Or those of you who are pretty good says, a demon comes, I kill the demon. Yes? What is that? also attachment to marks. Because that person says, if I don't kill the demon, he's going to kill me. He's going to harm my family. Right? So that person is attached to the mark of a demon and the mark of a, what else? A family. Yes? That's why they jump. Right? So that's why in the real world, you may not be able to see people and tell whether they can see real marks or not, but you as ordinary people, unenlightened people, can sort of gauge those who can see, who have no marks whatsoever. Because nothing bothers them. Nothing whatsoever. That's no marks. Does it help? So, for example, someone says, look at him. He talks Dharma like a comedian. What kind of Dharma master is that? Huh? The complainer, the whiner is just a mortal. He's so attached to the mark of a comedian, of a clown. Yes? He's attached to the mark of a monk. Yes? Someone this morning says, there's no Pure Land Dharma door. There's no Guo Yin. What is that? Attachment to the mark of no Pure Land, the mark of no Guo Yin. Yes? Because if it really doesn't bother this person, why would he even speak up about Pure Land or about no Guo Yin? If there is Guo Yin or no Guo Yin, what's the big deal? If there's God or no God, what's the big deal? It's the Catholic problem, not our problem. Right? Oh, did I touch someone in a personal way? Yes, please go ahead and make a comment. I apologize if I hurt your feelings.
I actually have a quick question. So that means when the Buddhists talk about the Pure Land, that means they're attached to the Pure Land? Or they have a mark on the Pure Land?
Do I get a feeling the Catholic doesn't get it? Give it time, son. Give it time. Okay? Yeah. You get that? So, give me another example. People complain. This morning I hear this person who comes on Sunday mornings and he complains about this monk and that monk and so forth and so forth and so forth. And I've been trying to every single Sunday, no, don't complain, don't complain, don't complain, don't blockade, none of your business, none of your business, none of my business. Don't tell him that, okay? I think it's kind of fun to see what else afflicts them, okay? But this clearly shows that this person does not understand Buddhism at all. Can you see that? Because he's so attached to a certain standards for a monk, okay, or a nun, okay. He's so attached to marks. I try to allude to him, for example, that in the Buddhist sutras, Okay? In the Buddha Sutras now, the Buddha says the monks who are bad right now, the fake monks or the bad monks, when Maitreya Bodhisattva appears in the world, those bad monks will become fourth stage arhat, will become enlightened. Okay? So, do Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, real Buddhas and Bodhisattvas says, but you're a bad person. I will not teach you. I will not help you because you're a bad person. Because you hurt Buddhism. Because you hurt the Sangha. You're bad, 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 bad. I want nothing to do with you. You should get out. But no. The Buddha says, leave them alone. Be respectful towards them. Because they too in the future will become enlightened. Isn't that beautiful? So who are we to go and slander people? He's a bad monk, he's a bad nun, he's a good monk, he's a great monk, he's a lousy monk, he's a loser, he's a winner. It's all attachment to marks. When are you going to grow up? Children, stop slandering people. None of your business. You see? So, I want you, disciples of Mahayana, students of Mahayana, to be careful when you listen to people like me who keeps on criticizing and slandering others and criticizing others. It's not the real Dharma. The real Dharma is all-embracing, bad and good and evil and beneficial and harmful. It's okay. Don't get afflicted. Do you hear me, Koreans? Don't get afflicted. Do you hear me, Sianan? Bad or evil, don't get afflicted. That is wisdom. If you think that this person is evil and therefore it's okay to punish him and to criticize him, you are being stupid. When are you going to learn? It's none of your business. If you criticize people, you slander people, it's because you are attached to marks. You have no wisdom whatsoever, therefore you are to be ignored. What we call colloquially in our small world, you're a loser. You're so attached to marks. When are you going to learn? My master's teaching is markless, like his disciples said. He's so markless, no one can tell he's a great bodhisattva. He can't care less. You understand now why the Buddha has to tell to you, real mark is actually no mark? The no mark is a clue for you. Are you impressed, Sir Joseph? This is very profound Buddhist philosophy, by the way. And this is what distinguishes superior people from the losers, in that they're not attached to marks. That you will find out the rest of my life, my boy. The people who are not attached to marks are the superior people. Not the people who say, I know everything. I know about yellow. I know about white. I know about this, about that. Okay? Those are people are inferior. You're too young to meet a great man like Master Hsuan. He has no mark whatsoever. Nothing bothers him. Nothing. If you ever had the chance to meet a person like that, it sticks in your mind. You never forget that. It's fantastic. There's no mark whatsoever. Zilch. Does it mean he's dead? No, he laughs, he cries, but he has no attachment whatsoever. Zilch. That's why he can cry, he can laugh next. And then he cries, then he laughs. He screams, and then he falls asleep. Absolutely no attachment whatsoever. That's no mark right there that you can see. So you who are able to hear this lecture, go back and watch his videos and see that's a no mark person. One type of no mark person. No attachments whatsoever. How does he describe it? I will teach you today. To Koreans only. You like? See, the Koreans are happy. But guess what? I'm not attached to excitement either. Mahayana taught, okay? In order for you to get the no mark, what do? Would you like to know? Koreans? I'm looking in the void here. I'm looking, but actually there's no one here today. How do you get to no mark? Go ahead, JMT, comment.
You first have to use the mark in order to get to the no mark. Such as or recite the Buddha's name.
Are you sure?
Or talk to.
Are you sure? Okay, read in Korea.
집착을 끊으려면은 100달러보다 자기 압수표를 더 좋아하면 됩니다.
What did she say? I didn't quite get it. Hey, what happened to the this morning, the villa thing? Go ahead. Go ahead. Translation, please.
In order to cut the attachment, instead of attaching to $100 bill, it's better to attach to a check.
She says, cut from $100 to $5 bill to a blank check. Very original. Very good. Okay. What? Did I hear some kind of laugh somewhere? I'm not attached, are you? Anyone has a problem? Oh, you are attached to this. Oh, okay, I understand. Marked people. YongHua says, pay attention to these Koreans, okay? He taught his disciples this. He taught me this as well. He says, to me, he says, everything is okay. No problem. No problem. Everything is okay. $100 bills? Thank you. Do you have more? Oh, you like it back? Okay. Everything okay, remember? But you are cheapskates. See what I mean? Huh? Everything is okay. You mean to me? It's okay. You slander me? It's okay. You don't allow me to go to the restroom after 13 hours with you? It's okay. I will pee in my pants. Everything is okay, remember? Huh? You're so evil? You make the Sangha look bad? It's okay. Everything is okay with me. It's not my problem, it's Master Z's problems. Huh? You understand? Everything is okay. Don't you feel so free? Huh? There's no more burden. You don't need to carry a cross anymore. Anything goes. Everything is okay. Master continues to clown around. Disgusting, but it's okay. You see that? Isn't that beautiful? If I behave like a normal monk who says, today we talk about this certain teaching, which is one of the most advanced teaching in Mahayana. Did you know? It's through this teaching that even ignorant Catholics can reach sun enlightenment. You see? Would you prefer that? Or would you prefer, you know what, today we're going to have fun? Huh? We might learn something, but you're going to have fun first. Like, hey, life is too short. You think the Dharma is so sterile where you need to be a certain way, the Dharma has to be spoken a certain way, that aren't you attached to the way of speaking Dharma? You attach to a certain thing before you think is real. That attachment there will inhibit you from learning the real Dharma. Therefore, there's no room for you here. Can you see that? Oh, he's a clown. Yeah, let's get out of here. Because not everything is okay. Let's get out of here. See that? So, the teaching, very profound teaching. This is true Mahayana teaching. Not just from Master YongHua, by the way. The patriarchs have all also said that. Not in Chinese English, Chinglish like that. Everything is okay, no problem. I heard that and said, my God, man, go take English classes. Okay, that's Master YongHua. He keeps saying, everything okay. You find that, you listen, you hear that. And I heard it personally from him as well. He says, everything was okay, no problem. Okay, but he spoke with such samadhi. Everything is okay, no problem. It's not like me who says, everything is okay, you hear? It's no problem whatsoever. Okay? Now, how do I teach you that? Those of you who went with me to the Getty Villa? This is a quiz. Those of you who went. Where was that conveyed to you? Can I show you? Okay, now going back, Koreans, I'm going back to Los Angeles. Okay? Right here. This is the demonstration of everything is okay. Are you ready?
There's a lot of N on it.
Okay. Okay, next. You tell me, no any sane monk will go hug a tree? In a so loud that I told you that everything is okay, no problem. Ants are not, trees are not, trees, people, everything is okay. He likes it. Oh, he's no. That's no mark. The Master YongHua, being Chinese, he teaches no mark by the Chinese way. Okay? Meaning that you avoid giving people the impression that you attach to marks. Okay? By staying in samadhi and then controlling his emotion, his appearances and so forth. Okay? That's one way of teaching no mark. The other way is to clown around until someone says, really? Really? You see, it's complementary. Those losers who says, you have to behave like Master YongHua, that's Mahayana, that's correct. The other side of the equation, you don't have to behave like him, that's also no mark. So in a very small way, humble way, we're adding to that teaching of no marks, aren't we? Huh? Yes, number one.
Mô Phật bạch thầy, bây giờ giống ngài Hòa Thượng Tiên Hóa vậy đó, thầy ngài tu thì ngài đã thấy rõ ràng thì thầy không có tướng, rồi mà những người mà thấy ngài đó như vậy đó là kêu bằng hồi nãy nói câu đó cái gì quên này, có tướng á, thầy không có độ được mấy người mà nó có tướng, mấy người mà thích những cái tướng đó là ngài không có độ được. Ngài bỏ lơ những người đó, thì người đó muốn tiếp xúc với ngài đó, thì người thấy thầy cũng lạc lẽo quá thì người ta cũng không có muốn tới nữa. Rồi đó mà cái vô tướng đó thì là thầy giác ngộ, giống người ta cúng một cái building cho ngài đó, ngài đâu có mừng đâu, ngài đâu có vui đâu có gì. Nó ủa sao thầy ngộ người ta cúng một cái building cho thầy mà thầy không có vui, thầy là người vô tướng. Thầy nói tôi làm sao mà vui được, cái người này cúng cho tôi một cái building như vậy đó, thầy nói trên cung trời nó có một cái building ở chảnh rồi, thầy đâu có vui đâu, phải không? Thì mình nghe nói như vậy đó. Rồi mà cái vô tướng cũng khổ, mà cái thật tướng là cũng cái khổ nữa. Cái thật tướng này nó không độ được người, mà cái vô tướng đó thì nó sẽ bí quyết là người ta không có nhìn được, thì người ta cũng không có thích nữa thầy. Mô Phật.
Master, so I see that Master YongHua, the way he cultivates that is no mark. And the thing is like, because he's no mark, he cannot cross over the one who is attached to mark. And then because those people, when they see him, they will not like him. So that's why they are not attracted to him. And then, like for example, there is a person that donate to him a big building, And then we see that he didn't show any sign of excitement or happiness or whatever, and say like, Sư Phụ, how come you don't feel anything? And then Master XunHua say like, how can I be happy? Because that person make offering to me to one building, and then he also have another big building in the heaven. So so she say like, either it's drill mark or no mark. It has its own difficulty.
Okay, you too.
D. Wiski asks, does a monk or a nun have to meditate every day? What if they don't? Or is that their nature? What if it is out of their natural state?
It depends on which monk or nun. It depends what you mean by meditation. This person's definition of meditation is not our definition of meditation. So that's why I don't know how to answer his question. His meditation is too narrow. All right. So far, so good. So that's why the no mark is something you can begin to observe. Okay. I recommend you look at the videos of Master XunHua to get a feel of what a no mark person behaves like. Okay. And that's the way of virtues of the Chinese great sages. Okay, big appeal to the Asians. But as you said earlier, for Westerners, it's kind of you don't allow them to get close enough. So you turn off the Westerners, but it's a big appeal to the Asians. Yes, number 5.
Master, what you said reminds me of this Master XunHua video I saw where the Christians came to protest at the CTTB, and he said, "Oh, it's okay. You want to come inside and protest inside?" And
yeah, you protest. You just protest. What's the big deal? You praise me, you protest. It's the same thing. And by the way, it's more comfortable for you to protest inside. We give you some tea to drink, or we turn on the heater for you. And protest all you want, okay? Because I'm not bothered by your protests or my disciples' praises, for that matter. Okay, very good example. Okay, continuing. So far, so good. So you understand now which is unmarked, and I assure you, Koreans, this is the first time it's ever explained. Okay, so enjoy. Next, this is mind-to-mind transmission. Mind-to-mind transmission here, again, the Asians don't explain this to their own. That's why there's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of people fooling others. For example, monks set up, a ceremony where you transmit the lamp to the next generation, as the Asians like to call it. What comes to mind is the Taiwanese. I saw that in Taiwan. I read about it in Japan, and my own Vietnamese master offered to do a lamp-to-lamp transmission to me as well. Okay, so this is what people do. Okay, and this is what the monks do. What they don't realize is this mind-to-mind transmission that the Buddha talks about is only between two people. That's it. No third person. It only happens between two people. This mind-to-mind transmission. That's it. Done. It's not meant for you to brag about, to use it to raise money, to fix your temple, or to buy a bigger temple, or to be more notorious. Okay? No. It's a mind-to-mind transmission. Basically says, I certify that you are enlightened. Proof number 2, that Mahakasyapa is enlightened because the Buddha certified it. See? The Hinayana people don't understand what mind-to-mind transmission means. Here, he basically says, I certify that Mahakasyapa is enlightened because I provided the mind-to-mind seal to him. That's why he smiled. Get that? He's so happy. He said, wow, it's so cool. The Buddha just certified me. You understand now he smiled? Huh, Chinese people? It's fun to him. He said, oh, wow, the Buddha just gifted me with a certificate. It's so cool. Never happened before. A cool thing to do. Hey, listen, I can do this for Ananda as well. Isn't it clear? Buddhism, Mahayana is very subtle. The joy that Mahakasyapa, that bodhisattva, he just smiled. That's his expression of joy. Wow, so cool. And that's it. Back to Om. All right? Transmitted outside of the teaching. Okay? This refers to what? It has nothing to do with sutras, nothing to do with teachings. It's just certification that you give to someone. Here's your diploma. That's all. Okay? I have already given it to Mahakasyapa in mind-to-mind transmission. So he concludes, he says, all the things I talked about, I just gave it to Mahakasyapa, meaning that he's the first patriarch. He's my successor. Meaning that Mahakasyapa in the future, when you find the second patriarch, okay, you will tell him, I have proper Dharma eye treasury, wonderful mind of Nirvana, the real mark, which is unmarked. This is a mind-to-mind transmission, transmitted outside teaching. I am giving it to you, Ananda, in a mind-to-mind transmission. So therefore, you're second patriarch. So far, so good. YouTube question.
Master, is unmarked the same as no mark?
Yeah, it's the same. But the no mark refers to your ability to discern marks. Marks is something you can see. Real mark you cannot see, but mark you can see. No mark is that when you see mark, but you don't see it's any mark. That's why it's called no mark. Does it help? Is it clear now how clever, how ingenious the Buddhist teaching is? No mark means whatever you see there, okay, don't be attached to it. Then it's called no mark. Don't be so attached to money, okay? Oh, big bill. I go to the bank, I say, what you like in small bills or big bills? I say, big bills, please, big bills, please. You see what I mean? Attachment to the mark of big. All right? Any other questions? Yes, Daniel. Number 3.
But still a little bit confused though. For example, if you're seeking to go to Pure Land or to heaven or anything like that, does that mean that you have a mark of the Pure Land? or mark of heaven or mark of whatever?
Yes, because those people are not enlightened. Therefore, you speak to them in their own language. Speak to them in things that, tell them things that they can understand, that's beneficial for them, to encourage them to do something that's beneficial for them. You cannot tell a child about college yet. Okay? You have to tell him about things that are appealing to him. Same rationale, same logic. You're low level, so we speak to you about heavens. It's a good place to be. And you get a little bit higher, and then you tell you about, hey, there's a higher heaven. Do you realize that? You don't have to go to the heaven anymore. With this your current level, when you die, you can go to the other heaven. It's your choice now. So, bit by bit, you'll be guided. Okay? And then, if you better, and many of you will be able to do that, which I don't encourage, you can open your heavenly eye and say, oh yeah, that's true. I can go to that, a little bit higher than that Christian heaven. Oh, it's how wonderful it is. You will see it yourself. But then, for those people who can see it, they spend all day watching TV. Oh, look at that. Oh, Vietnamese quarters. Oh, good food. Okay? All right. Can we move on, or you have any more questions about this? 听懂清净.
Well, on the topic of no mark, so would you say, you just taught us the Buddha's explanation of no mark. So would you say that explanation is way more superior than the how Manjushri Bodhisattva was showing no mark in her in the interaction with Vimalakirti?
No, it's not. I beg to differ, and I'm offended by that. How dare you compare me with Manjushri? Are you crazy? Manjushri is like, I'm like COVID-19. What are you talking about? How dare you? Are you trying to get me in trouble? God, I almost fell for it.
But that was Buddha's explanation, Mata. You just said to us.
No,
not your explanation.
No. The reason I spent an hour explaining to you no mark is because the Chinese never explained it to their own kind. And they left it mysterious. That's why the Chinese don't understand no mark at all. For the first time in the history of Mahayana in the West, you, Koreans, understand what no mark is. And you can explain what no mark is, that the Asians cannot. Why do you think I praise them for getting up at 4 a.m? It's a reward. If it weren't for them getting up at 4 a.m, why would I bother talking to you losers? See? No. So, it's not that. The reason I explain no mark to you is because that's how I feel I will explain no mark to people like you. Excuse the expression. Okay? But between Manjushri and Vimalakirti in that particular sutra, it's up there. That's how they talk to each other. We are down here. I'm talking to low lives like you. Up there, they speak a different language, folks. Don't get a big head. We're not there. I explain this only for, people like you. Because the Chinese would not. Does it help? It's a different audiences. Humor Kirti is the cream of the cream. You talk about is fantastic Dharma. It's not for us. Only bodhisattvas understand what they're doing. But why didn't they bother explaining this to us? Because to me, it would save me a lot of grief. I memorized this, by the way, folks. When I learned this real mark and no mark, I memorized. Mahakasyapa said, 实相, okay, 是无相, 可是无不相. I memorized it by heart, didn't know what it meant. And how the Chinese teach their own kind. And to me, it's not good enough. Okay? If I tell you that, you say, is this a cult? Are you some kind of cult where you repeat these things, these mantras? You don't even know what they mean? You really are a cult, aren't you? Let me tell you, my friends, we're not a cult. Okay? We call no mark because, then I explain to you. Isn't that cool? No, this is not Chinese Mahayana, folks. This is American Mahayana. Yes, number one.
Mô Phật và Thầy. Xin mời cái chú đó hỏi nó là cái không có Tây Phương Cực Lạc, không có Quan Thế Âm Bồ Tát. Thầy ngày xưa đó mình cũng vô minh ở Việt Nam ấy Thầy, chiến tranh đồ này kia đó khổ lắm Thầy. Làng này chạy qua làng khác. Rồi mình thấy cũng chạy tới kết cuộc đó cũng rất là khổ. Tới sau này được giải phóng mình được qua bên Mỹ này. Thầy mình thấy wow, cái thế giới này là nó khác hơn. Thì mình thấy cũng bây giờ mình ở cái thế giới này cũng an tâm an lạc, tất cả cũng là tốt lắm. Rồi bây giờ mình nghe tới được một cái Tây Phương Cực Lạc nữa đó. Trời, nghe tới cái Tây Phương, nghe tới Cực Lạc đó mình mau phải làm sao mà đi về được cái thế giới đó, không già, không bệnh, không chết, là quá xá là kêu bằng cho mình để mình đi về cái thế giới đó đó Thầy. Ngày xưa thì mình không biết ở Việt Nam quá là khổ, biết không? Chiến tranh, làng này chạy qua làng kia, xứ này chạy qua xứ kia đó. Rồi tới giải phóng mình qua bên nước Mỹ này, và thấy là cũng rất là an lạc, an tâm, không có nghĩ được, không có cái gì cho mình phiền phức hết đó. Rồi tới bây giờ mình học được kinh Phật đó, thầy nói là có cái thế giới Tây Phương Cực Lạc đó quá là tốt. Bây giờ mình phải tìm làm sao mà được đi về được cái thế giới đó. Mô Phật.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. You too. Go ahead.
Diego asks, Master, does the Saha world become a pure land in the future? And does a pure land become impure and an impure land become pure? Do they go through phases? Thank you, Master.
No, it won't. As far as I know, I don't live long enough to know, but as far as I know, it's an impure land in order to serve for certain kinds of people who need a place to go. It's just like for me, I go shopping in the Hispanics grocery stores because it's cheaper. Okay, because the Vietnamese grocery store about the same price as the American stores nowadays. It used to be cheaper, but not anymore. Okay, so that's why we have these cheap grocery stores where for people like me to go so that I get help. But on the other hand, the Pure Lands are for people who have more privileged, okay, or in certain ways, different sets of people, okay. So I don't think it's not going to change, okay. Personally, I hope it doesn't change because I prefer impure lands. It's a lot more fun. Okay. I don't know about you, but I just imagine when we get to the Pure Land and all day is fun, then so what's the big deal about fun anymore? For me here, I suffer so much every day that for me to have something nice for half a second, to me is such a reward, you know, eating the kimchis, you know, or enjoy looking at a work of art, you know, after a hard day's work, that makes it worth it, you know. So anyway, no, I doubt it. But anyway, in all honesty, I don't know. It's up to the Buddhas to decide. They might decide to switch, but I doubt it. It's just, okay? Because it's not efficient way to help living beings. Okay, imagine that you have the reputation. Shakyamuni Buddha has a reputation of being a host of an imperial land where life is very difficult, very tough, only for samurais and ninjas. Okay. So the samurais and ninjas look forward to going to the Saha world, our world right now. Whereas some others prefer to go to Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land. Okay, they say, I prefer to go to the Pure Land, Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land, and so forth. And so it depends on the kind of clientele, if you will. Some people prefer German sports car. Some people prefer what's the opposite of German sports car? Mexican sports car. I don't know. Okay, any other questions? All right, so we have a few more minutes. Anyone has a joke that we'd like to hear, like to share with us? We're looking for jokes, not questions. But go ahead. There's no joke. Okay, then questions.
I'm very attached to this question about offering that you started at the very beginning of the lecture. So you said if you don't do the 3 mantra when you offer to ancestors, they don't get to eat it. Now here's my question. There were 2 occasions. One occasion, my mom was offering to ancestors.
Stop. I only have 2 more minutes. Quickly. I hate to burst your balloon, but the question has to be short, and the answer, give me enough time to answer you. If not, we'll go over time. Then I will not be happy. I'm very attached to time. Do you have a shorter question? Go ahead, ask a very short question.
It is
Stop.
very short.
1 more minute. I like to give both of them a hard time for some reason. I don't know why. Yes.
So there were
30 seconds. Ding! Time's up. Can we wait until next time, please? Huh? I don't think we can. You don't look serious. You're laughing too much. This is serious business, my friend. You're learning about the real Dharma. Okay, thank you, everyone. Let's stand up, do the reverse transference to help this lady here. Okay. How long has it been now? How many weeks? So you don't have to do it anymore.